Big Mo lay under the spirit tree, next to his darling Dookie. Dookie, who only just moaned now, barely making any sounds, sometimes tossing her head slightly back and forth. Big Mo lay there looking up at the sky. And suddenly, there was someone there. Someone he had never seen before. It was a man with an axe and a bundle of wood on his back, a woodcutter. He stood there, and as Big Mo's eyes focused on his face, the woodcutter said to him, "Oh, sir, is there something I can do to help you?" Big Mo, in his sorrow and desperation, explained what had happened, about the snake bite, about the witch doctor, about Dookie dying. The woodcutter immediately had advice to give. "Oh, sir, if you are wanting to save her life, you must wash off that horrible mixture on her leg. Wash it off, it is no good. And then you must take her to the only place that can help her." "Where is that? Where is that place?" said Big Mo. "You must tell me." "Oh, sir, you must go to the mission hospital. They have a magic water for snake bites." The mission hospital, a place that Big Mo would never go, a place he had warned Dookie to never go. But now, in Big Mo's heart, he knew if this was the only remaining chance to save his precious little girl, he would do it. He would do anything, even if the spirits would curse him for daring to go to a Christian hospital, daring to go somewhere where the Christians might cast a spell on him, or where he might touch them and become cursed by the evil ones. He would do it. Big Mo thanked the woodcutter and immediately took little Dookie in his arms and took her down to the spring. Arriving at the spring, he washed her leg carefully, removing all the cow manure, the horrible stench coming off of her leg, revealing again the snake bite underneath. And then, as fast as he could go, he made the trip to the mission hospital. Big Mo could never even remember that trip. It must have been long, it must have been difficult, hot, exhausting to carry little Dookie in his arms all those miles. And yet he went at almost a full run the entire way, finally arriving into the compound area where he saw a man and woman standing, and he rushed up to them. "Please, please, you must help me. Help me, my daughter. She has been bitten. It is the curse of snakes, and you must give her the magic water. Help her, help her." The mission doctor and his wife helped to get Dookie onto a small mat, and then Mo made his request again. "Please, please help her. Do anything you can. I need you. I need her." The doctor knew what was in Big Mo's heart and turned to him and said, "Well, sir, I absolutely want to help, but you must know, I cannot heal your daughter. Only God can." And then, without another word, the doctor and his wife came around Dookie's bed, and as Big Mo watched, in amazement, fear, and worry, they prayed. And their prayer was different. There was no dancing and no screaming. There was no calling out with shrieks or shaking of bones and charms and amulets. Their prayer was calm. Big Mo watched, wondering who they might even be praying to. As soon as the prayer was done, the doctor and his wife sprung into action. The wife cleaned the leg further, while the doctor prepared something in a glass bottle, drawing it up into a glass tube with a very sharp point to it. Big Mo was nervous to see this. Might it be another knife? Might it be something that was going to hurt his little girl? But then the doctor quickly but skillfully took that glass tube with a sharp pointy end to it. You know it was a needle on a syringe with medicine inside. And he injected it into her arm. And little Dookie, who had been tossing, turning, groaning, growing weaker, suddenly stopped moving. That could only mean one thing to Big Mo. His little girl was dead, and he leaped forward, grabbing the doctor, lifting him up with his mighty arms up into the air. "What have you done to her? What have you done? You have killed my little girl. I will kill you." And then Big Mo realized he was touching a Christian. He set the man down and backed away. Would he be cursed now? What was going to happen? But the doctor was calm. The doctor did not look upset or angry in any way. Instead, he explained to Big Mo that the magic water had now gone into Dookie's body, and it was working. That was why she wasn't moaning and tossing anymore. It was taking away the pain. And now it would just be a matter of watching and waiting to see if she could make it through the night. Big Mo's demeanor changed. He was so grateful. Oh, sir, he said. Oh, I am so thankful to you. I'll pay you whatever it takes. I do not have any money to pay you right now, but I will work. I will do anything just to pay for this medicine. And oh, please, sir. The doctor reassured him. Sir, you said your name is Mo? Mo, it's obvious. You're a good dad. You obviously love this little girl, and, well, let me tell you about another dad. A heavenly father who loves everyone, including you, Mr. Mo. He loves you, he loves your little girl, he loves me, he loves the whole world. And the reason he loves it is because, well, he created it. And you must know, Mr. Mo, there are no coincidences. God, well, he permits things sometimes to happen to change our ways. I think you would never have come here to this mission compound any other way unless you were in desperate need of help. We do live in a wicked world, Mo, and snake bites do happen. But the witch doctor had no control over this. Only God has the final word. And I want to read to you from his word now, Mo. And the doctor pulled out a book which was bound in leather with gold letters on the cover. And you know, as funny as this might sound, the main reason that Mo listened to the doctor and paid attention for those next few minutes was because of those gold letters on the cover. To Mo, those gold letters signified that this was an important book. It must be very important. And so he was willing to listen as the doctor read to him from the very first page of this book words that started with, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." And then the mission doctor proceeded to read to him about this God who had made this world, who had made the sun, the moon, the stars, who had made the first man and woman. And as the doctor spoke to Mo and read to him from this book, which you know was the Bible, Dookie just rested. The nurse got Dookie situated into a little room, and Mo asked if he would be able to stay there through the night with her. "Oh, certainly, sir, but, well, you might want to sleep in another room that has a separate bed for you." But no, Mo refused. "No, if my little Dookie wakes up and I am not there, why, she would be so frightened. I must be right by her side." And so, that is what Mo did. They gave him a blanket and he lay on the floor next to Dookie's bed and slept there through the night. In the morning, he arose as the sun came in through the window. Looking about him, realizing where he was with the start and all the busyness and fear of the previous day. And now, there was Dookie, sleeping peacefully, breathing calmly. She was still alive. Mo felt a gratitude in his heart that he could never have imagined. He was hungry too, and he just wanted to ask a question. He was hoping there was someone that he could speak to, and then he saw, walking past the room outside, the wife of the doctor, and he rushed out to speak with her. "Excuse me, madam, I have a question for you, please. May I ask, you know about that God in heaven that made the moon and the sun and stars? I must know, did he also make the rain?" And the mission doctor's wife, bless her heart, was able to keep from smiling, for she knew this was a serious question on Mo's heart. And so she replied in all seriousness, "Yes, sir, Mr. Mo, he did. He made the rain. He made everything. He is the giver of all life. Do you know, he even gave Dookie to you. For he is stronger than the evil spirits. He is able to have control over all. If we let him, he will change our very own lives. So, Mr. Mo, you should trust in him. You should believe that he is strong, stronger than the spirits, that his hands are stronger, well, even than your own mighty hands. Whenever you find trouble, Mo, call on him, and he will help you." Those words rang true for Mo. In his heart, he immediately knew that he believed. Mo believed. This was the answer he'd been looking for when he would sit on those steps at night, looking up at the moon and feeling lonely and wondering what was missing from his life. This was the answer to who made the rain and the thunder and the lightning. Mo believed. And now, with joy in his heart, he returned to Dookie's room to check on her and perhaps to tell her as well of this wonderful God. As Mo approached the room, he did see a nurse coming out of the room and walking off down the hallway. Mo was about to call after her to see perhaps if Dookie was okay, when Dookie herself sat up. Poor Dookie did not know where she was. Of course, she had been unconscious since she'd lain under the spirit tree, and now here she was in a room with a bed? There was Big Mo, the only one she recognized. "Big Daddy Mo! Big Daddy Mo, where are we? What is going on? What is the matter? Oh, my leg!" And Big Mo quickly explained to her that everything was okay, that she had been saved from the bite of the snake, that she was going to live, and it was thanks to, well, the people at the mission hospital. "The mission? Oh, the Christian place? Oh, Big Daddy Mo, you said we should not come here. You said that they would cast a spell on us. Oh, Big Daddy Mo, I'm scared." But Big Mo quickly reassured her, No, do not be frightened, Dookie. This is a wonderful place and these are wonderful people. They worship the God who made the moon and the rain and everything. Oh, I must tell you about them. Oh, and he is strong. Dookie, he is stronger than the evil spirits. I made a mistake, Dookie, when I told you to stay away from the Christians and not to come here. Oh, you will come here to go to school. For certain you will. We must learn more about this wonderful God. And of course, this news made Dookie happy as she had never thought she could be, for she had so wanted to be able to go to the school where her friend went. Mo and Dookie spent another day and night there. As little Dookie recuperated, she ate of the food that they brought her. Her leg was carefully washed and bandaged again, and by the following day, she was obviously recuperated well enough that she could go back home. Then Mo spoke to the doctor. "Doctor, I must tell you again, thank you. Thank you to you and your God for healing Dookie of this snake bite. We are going home, but we will not stay there for long. We are going to move here. We will come back here to the mission school and little Dookie can go to school here and I will work for you. I will work for you to pay you back for what you have done for my daughter. But there is only one thing I must do first. I am going to find out the truth about the baby sacrifices, the burning of the babies when their mothers die. I am going to bring an end to it. I am not afraid of the spirits anymore. I am not afraid of the charm doctor anymore. I am going to stop this evil thing, and then I will come back here to the mission school to live." And the doctor, with joy in his eyes, said, Oh, Mo, this is an answer to my prayers. Mo, I have been so sad to know of this terrible superstition where the babies are burned on top of their mothers when they die. But Mo, if you would be willing, you and I together, we can put an end to it. I can get the police involved. I can help bring a stop to it if you just find the names of the people who are doing it, the people who want it to happen. We can put an end to this. No more children need to die. Not from this sad way. And so, Mo, with joy in his heart, said goodbye to these new dear friends who had taught him about the God who makes the moon and the rain, and he and Dookie headed back home. The return trip passed quickly as Mo and Dookie walked back home, now singing and joyous and so glad to be alive. Mo stopped at the spring in order to take a bath. He was hot and sweaty and needed to cool off. But of course, little Dookie's leg was still wrapped in a bandage and she could not go into the water. So he left her there under the shore as he himself went into the water to be able to cool off. As he stood there thinking about how wonderful it was to be alive, He thought about the God who had made this very spring, who had made water. It just gave him so much joy in his heart. And then, just as he was about to come out, he heard a noise coming from the bank. A scream, a choking type of scream. He turned to see little Dookie on the shore, trying to scream, but unable to because hands were wrapped around her throat. And if you want to know what happened next, you'll have to tune in to the next episode.